Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. Tonight we're back in the alcohol-free section, of course. That's where we're going to spend a lot of time nowadays. With this one, it's completely alcohol-free. It is Leffe Blonde. And it weighs in at exactly 0.0%. It does say on the bottle, though, that it contains no more than 0.05% alcohol. And it says to expect subtle notes of vanilla and clove. So yeah, it's a diddy little bottle. It's 250ml and for £4 you get 6 of them in Tesco, so you get 1.5 litre of beer for £4. But is it worth it? Well, Untapped says it's had over 20,000 check-ins. It's got an average score of 2.62. So yeah, it's a fairly average score that's kind of brought together from a pretty decent number of check-ins. So it's not too bad really, you know, when you consider it's an average score with a large number of check-ins and it's alcohol-free. So yeah, anyway, let's crack it open and hopefully we don't get a bit of a shit pour. So the pour into the Brewdog glass is clear. See if we can encourage a bit of head on that. Not too much, but there we go. So your beer is as clear as a bell. It's blonde in colour. You've got a white head that is reasonably compact and yeah, typical of a Belgian head, you know, but given that it's alcohol free, Leffe Blonde isn't normally this clear from memory. I know it's got a little bit more to it, but not masses. Anyway, it looks alright. Looks alright, nice head. It's sort of stable. You've got a nice little bit of carbonation, not massively so. Looks okay. So, let's have a whiff. Does it smell alright? It's got that yeasty kind of alcohol-free thing about it that's very typical of a wheat beer. It's similar to Leffe Blonde, not quite the same. I'm getting the vanilla. I'm getting something that's perhaps more coriander than clove. Smells okay. Notice the head's dissipating fairly quickly. So looks alright, smells okay. Let's have a little taste. Do you know what? That's not bad. It's sweet. It is sugary sweet. It's like having crystal sugar. And I do get some of that from your regular run-of-the-mill Leffe. It's got the vanilla. There is a hint of spice. I'm not sure I'd call it clove, but it is what it is. The body is noticeably thinner than a regular Leffe. And as we can see, the head is pretty much, well, it's less than a quarter of what it was. Taste-wise, it's sugary sweet, little bit malty, not a huge amount. That's that bready, yeasty thing coming through. Got a little bit of the vanilla, a little bit of spice that I equate more to coriander than I do the clove that they're inferring. And yeah, the finish is sweet. There's a hint of bitterness and bizarrely there's a hint of that alcohol, that kind of thing that's typical of a Belgian, you know, that punchy, in-your-face, warming alcohol thing. There is something of that here, but it's not as authentic. It's kind of a hint as opposed to anything kind of true. But obviously it's alcohol-free, so... And as that finish develops, there is that spiciness left on the tongue. It's not bad. It's not bad. So, Leffe Blonde 0.0. What do I think of you? Well, we're going to introduce the new scoring. And my scoring over the last however long I've been doing this has been on a very simple would I buy it again type scale. But now we're going to break it down into a similar thing that I use for my sort of supermarket showdowns and things like that. We're going to use this chalkboard of joy where we've got 5 parameters. We've got looks, aroma, body, taste and finish, and it equates to full 5, and we're going to give it possible scoring like quarters and halves, 3/4, 1 or possibly 0 if it's that bad. So the beer looked alright. Does it deserve a full one? No, because it didn't look quite as inviting as a regular brewing. Its head wasn't quite as sumptuous and it faded fairly quickly. So you are going to get a 0.5 on the looks. The aroma, we'll come back to that. It was okay. It's familiar. It is familiar. It's not mind-blowing. It's not got that big warming kind of, when you inhale deep, it's not got that punch that you get in the back of the nose with that boozy burn. So you're going to get a 0.5 point from me for that one. Body, it's thin. That's a downside. You know, Leffe has got quite a sumptuous mouthfeel. This is a little bit kind of on the thin side. So it's going to get a 1/4 from me on that one. It really needs that punch to really fulfill that exquisite Belgian experience. Taste-wise, it's okay. Like I say, you get some of that burn. You have got an overarching sugary crystal sweetness, and that's the one thing that's really letting it down. If it was a bit more authentic, you know, cut back on the sweetness. I know you need some sweetness, but you don't need quite as much as that. So you're going to get a 0.5 from me again. And the finish, you know, it's sweet, but it develops into that slightly spicy note, which is okay. You know, it needs a little bit of something more to it than that. But, in fact, let's just have one more just to... Yeah, I'm fair on the taste. Finish is sweet as well. It's going to get a 0.5 from me on that one, which gives it a grand total of 2.25 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet of joy, which I think that's going to be an interesting scoring mechanism going forward. I've got a separate video for that to explain the reasons why and all that jazz in a minute, but there we go. So yeah, 2.25 out of 5 for the old Leffe Blonde. The saving graces for me are some of the flavour. I like the sweetness, I like the spiciness, and by the sweetness I like the vanilla edge, not the big sugary crystal sweetness. Would I buy it again? Well, I've got a pack of 6. There's better alcohol-free beers out there by a long shot. It's the only one that I've had that's of a Belgian influence, though. So if I'm got a hankering for it, I might well do. I really hope I can find the brewing out there. If they indeed do it in the alcohol-free, I might give that a bash. But otherwise, we are at the point in the video where I'm going to say down there are some buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. It's alcohol free, and I feel like I've had 6 million beers. Anyway, let me know in the comments section down below if you've tried the Leffe Blonde alcohol free, and I will leave it at that. That's been the beer, if you can call it that. I've been Nick, and I will see you again soon for another video.